Hello YouTube. So as you can hear, I'm still a bit sick. I've been sick in bed for basically a week now, throwing basically all my Skyrim anniversary plans and lore video plans for the past weeks completely in the gutter. But that doesn't really mean that I won't overcome my coughing fits to bring you at least something on Skyrim's anniversary. Because I remembered, I've been making lore videos non-stop on this game for the past 6 years, so as Skyrim and the Anniversary Edition are downloading on my end, I've made a playlist on my channel with videos to watch for Skyrim's anniversary, or to binge in the background of a new anniversary playthrough. This playlist is filled with topics relevant to Skyrim and any Skyrim playthrough, so I recommend giving it a watch as you start to play, or not play and you just want to get in the mood for some lore again. The link to the playlist is in the description of this video. Anyway, the videos in this playlist are in a somewhat logical order, starting with my introduction to the Elder Scrolls lore video, and then going to the political situation on Tamriel at the time of Skyrim, then some historical videos zooming in on things which set the stage for Skyrim's setting, then some videos on the dragons, and some videos on Stormcloaks, some videos on character stories, some obscure stuff, you get the gist. Everything you may want to know when you are playing Skyrim that I made over the past several years. I might add some more videos later on, if people suggest videos that I've missed on my channel, or maybe I add some videos from my friends on YouTube and other places, we'll see. But right now the playlist is basically ready for watching. Not every video in the playlist has aged too well, since it contains some of my older videos as well, but the information in them is overall still very useful. The link to the playlist is in the description. With that being said, now that I have your attention, I'm going to reminisce a bit on Skyrim and why I love it so much despite all of its flaws. Much can be said against Skyrim. I mean, the game has flawed stories, less in-depth lore than the previous games or even the next game if you count Elder Scrolls Online, at least in some of the DLCs of Elder Scrolls Online. Overall bugginess, clunky combat, very dark colors in the art style. Most characters in the game aren't that deep or interesting, and yet I just absolutely loved this game. There was even a moment around 2013 or so when I was playing the game, not for the lore, but simply for enjoyment. I mean, this was 3 years before I started my channel, when I was just scared of never liking a game ever as much again. How could anything top Skyrim? It seems a kind of silly thought so many years later. I mean, I've played so many great games since then, which, you know, were great, but at the same time my fear back in 2013 was kind of valid, because I don't think anything has ever really recaptured Skyrim's magic for me. I don't know, it seems a bit weird to say, I guess, since Skyrim has a lot of flaws, and it has its flaws so much that as an RPG and a story game it lags behind its predecessors, and in some aspects I guess even Elder Scrolls Online. But Skyrim, it still has something magical. It has freedom, ultimate freedom. It's a big fantasy sandbox for all of us to play around in. You can do what you want and be who you want in a world with almost limitless potential due to mods and just due to the way it's made. I don't know what made it so that Oblivion never got this magical feeling for me. I honestly don't know. But what I do know is that Skyrim has it. It has this magical freedom and immersiveness, which for me is yet to be matched by any other game since. For example, in 2016, when Skyrim Special Edition released, I seriously just spent a whole in-game month just living in the alchemist shack in the Rift, making potions, hunting with my bow, farming with a simple farm mod, and just surviving out there in the wilds like that with a survival mod which had me dress warm and eat and sleep. And I also just installed a shop mod at one point, where I just opened up my own shop in one of the cities and kept upgrading it, just living my life out there. I wasn't yet Dragonborn in both those scenarios. I never really started the quest. I just lived my life out there in Tamriel. I've got countless more examples of such things I did in Skyrim, which are not the point of the game at all. I mean, the point of the game is playing the story, slaying the dragons, but which the freedom that this game gives you just allows you to do it. There are a lot of other games which do these kind of things better. I agree. I mean, there are countless survival games, there are shop simulator games, but none of them allow me to do it with all those other options there. None of them allow me to do it in a fantasy world which I love so much, on Tamriel. I don't know what gave Skyrim its ultimate sense of freedom in comparison to the other games in the series, and perhaps some of you guys have had this feeling with Oblivion or Morrowind, or maybe you don't feel it with Skyrim, but to me this game will always be special, no matter how much it's dated and no matter how little others care or how shallow it can be sometimes. Anyway, I'm going back to bed now, as I've had to cut this video 12 times now because I flew into coughing fits. I expect a new lore video to launch coming Saturday, no problem, if I keep getting better from my sickness at the same rate that I'm doing now. I may not really sound healthy, especially at the beginning of the video, but it's been far worse over the past few days. I've been just locked to my bed, which is honestly not too fun, but yeah, I expect the lore video for this weekend to launch, no problem, because I've had several scripts ready now, but just know I haven't been healthy enough to record them yet. Anyway, all of you, have fun with Anniversary Edition if you decide to get it. If you don't decide to get it, I at least hope that you still have a nice Skyrimversary. It's become kind of a special day over the years. And yeah, just try to have a good time with the new Skyrim edition, or just be happy that we have this series, which we all love. And if you don't love it, well, I honestly don't know why you've kept watching for such a long time. Bye bye.